Welcome to Talking News, guys. The husband and the prime suspect of the Andreen McDonald case has made headlines today. Andreen McDonald has posted bond, and that was dramatically reduced from $2 million to $300,000. He needs to pay $30,000. Andreen McDonald is still missing, and even though she is gone, she's not out of mind at all, because people that work with her at the gym once still save her parking spot. There are people always talking about Andreen. They're trying to keep her spirit alive. They still have hopes of finding her. Okay, so March 1st, Andreen didn't show up to the gym. She didn't show up for work. And concerned family and friends end up calling the sheriff's department for a welfare check. One friend who was really concerned about the situation had talked to Andreen McDonald, and Miss McDonald had actually warned her many times that if she was to ever disappear, it would be because Andreen McDonald killed her. So immediately she suspected foul play. Now, according to the affidavit, it states that the deputy walked into the master bedroom of the home with Andreen McDonald's mother, and the deputy noticed that the floor appeared to have been recently cleaned and that there was a red stain on the light switch. The red stain, court records note, was later determined to be human blood and hair. But according to witness testimonies on some media sources, Andreen's mother actually wasn't there at the beginning at all. It was her friends, and the back door was unlocked. They let themselves in. And then one of the friends of Andreen's later went and picked up the mother, then brought her back to Andreen McDonald's home. Now, there are two different stories as well. When they walk into the backyard, whether a deputy was there, whether the mother was there, we don't know right now the truth of this. Now, the one story that does seem to collaborate with one another is how a zipper was found in the burn pile that was in the backyard of Andreen and Andre's backyard. They noticed a fire pit in the backyard, and they walk over to examine, what the burn pit consisted of. And I guess they dug through it, and they discover a zipper in the burn pit. During the time of the welfare check, and all these people are going through the house, Andreen McDonald is not at home. And I want to know where he is during this period, because I feel like this period is the most important. So whether or not Andreen McDonald arrived at the house at 1 or after, we're not sure on that either. Doesn't matter. He arrives to the home while the police and everyone is, searching the house for Andreen McDonald. They begin to question him, have you seen her? And his response is, his wife is being treated at the Baptist Emergency Hospital, according to the affidavit. He must have known that police would figure out that this wasn't true, because it was soon after they follow up on that tip and find out there is nobody of that name at the emergency room or in the hospital. Well, they did find blood and hair on the floors in the bathroom, on the light switch. It would make sense that should have been the thing to do if somebody was injured. So law enforcement confront Andreen McDonald on this discrepancy. They say, we don't see anybody by that name at Baptist Hospital. Well, at that point, he realizes, okay, that's not going to work. So he tells them, he says, me and my wife got in an argument Thursday night. And that's according to the affidavit. I'm sure at that point he is feeling the heat And so they start questioning him even more. At that point, you know, after the deputies had detained Andreen McDonald for questioning, he begins to decline to speak with investigators. And guess what he does? He requests an attorney, of course. Even though Mr. McDonald refuses to speak, the investigators get search warrants and things like this, and they are looking around the house. And so Saturday afternoon, an investigator actually noticed that the McDonald's garage door had been ripped off its tracks. And that's according to court documents. And it's that same investigator that actually followed Andreen McDonald to the gun shop. Now, Andreen McDonald, which is a major in the Air Force, is at a gun shop purchasing a gun, quite a bit of ammo according to arrest paperwork. But at some instance, for some reason unknown, Andreen McDonald freaks out, leaves his ID behind, leaves the gun behind, and walks out the door with only the large amount of ammo, according to, like I said, the affidavit and arrest records. So that investigator that was following Mr. McDonald, you can imagine, he pulled him over most likely. I don't know this for fact, how they got him to stop, just using common sense at this moment. But they bring him in because they're concerned about his mental health, which any good investigator knows that you don't need a lot of ammo if you're committing suicide. You wouldn't have time to use that many bullets on yourself. Even though law enforcement cannot say what they thought he was going to do, they addressed it as, he had suicidal tendencies. Now, the interesting thing is there's more investigators at Andreen McDonald's home while he is at the gun shop. And that's where they actually find a shovel in Andreen McDonald's Porsche. Okay, guys, if you can't tell, I'm doing this on the go. So with the second search warrant, the affidavit actually says that the investigators located what they believe to be more blood evidence in the couple's silver Chevrolet Malibu. As well, they found Andre's cell phone and his wife's old cell phone. That's kind of weird. What would her old cell phone be doing there? So on the second search warrant still, investigators find 2 purchase receipts amongst other items in their garbage can. And so these receipts have been torn to shreds, according to the investigators. And to me, and this is where I'm going to speculate, he's gone out of his way. He knows that the police are watching him at this moment. He's already had a burn pile. Why would he put a receipt in the garbage? Torn to shreds. It just seems like to me this whole time, it seems like he's using everything that he has there as a setup to distract police. It seems like that, doesn't it? What do you guys think? So the second fire pit that they are searching through, they really don't find much according to what we're reading. I mean, they could have, and they're just not sharing it. But according to what I can find, the only thing they found in that fire pit was papers and other items. Just nothing really significant at all. And as they continue on the search the trash cans that are throughout the home, they find heavy coveralls. And they say those coveralls appear to have been worn. And also, they find a claw hammer with woody plant debris on it. So, yeah. Did he really use these items to cover up, what he done with Andreen? Well, we really don't know. Is it a distraction? It kind of seems like it to me. I think he was playing dumb, and he's really, because at first I was like, there's no way he's that dumb, is he? But I really don't think he is that dumb. I'm thinking, and it's just a thought that, as I mentioned many times lately, not at the beginning, that, he's just setting up a bunch of cookies that lead to a different direction. Now, what else did it say on that affidavit? It says that, it describes the shovel as to having fresh dirt on it, as if it had been used recently. Of course, all these little items that they collected, which seems to be a kill kit, led to his arrest on March 3rd. So in Bexar County, Andreen McDonald was arrested for the disappearance of his wife, Andreen McDonald. Now, they have put out tons of search dates, and they have looked very hard, but she has yet to be located. They cannot find the missing woman, and they've worked very hard. And it's not only the police that are working on this case. They have volunteers, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So this remarkable woman right here, Melinda Parnell. Okay, so she's one of the few people that are involved with, actively searching for Andreen McDonald. And this is her story. What she says is the reason why she got involved with this case is the fact that she says the reason why this case of Andreen McDonald caught her attention was her husband was a major in the Air Force, and she was retired from the Army. And at the beginning of the case, they couldn't find Andreen McDonald. And so they called in for civilian volunteers. And she thought to herself, maybe I should get involved with this. She was one of the volunteers that joined the search at Camp Bullis. This team spent a lot of time searching that area, and she says, we still didn't turn up anything. I became really concerned. Melinda looked to Facebook as a way to find a group that was actively involved with the case like she was. She found a group created for Andreen McDonald, but found out that she could not communicate with other people that were interested in volunteering like she was. So she created her own group page that is now dedicated to mostly people who are active in trying to locate the missing woman of Andreen McDonald, which in a very short time is almost at 300 members right now. The page is mostly a group of them that have bonded about 3 weeks ago, all concerned about Andreen McDonald, had the same goals in mind. And they call their team Team Savage. I asked Melinda, why do you do this? Melinda says, we dedicate hours every day to our theories or our ideas or our search options. She continues to go on and say that I am a retired military police officer. I have a master's degree in Homeland Security. Since my retirement, I volunteer in my community, mostly with political groups. She is currently also a businesswoman and an entrepreneur. She's also an author. She has written articles for various publications and still somehow finds time to search for a missing woman. So I asked her, what is it like to get out there and search? Melinda says, after each search, we sit down feeling defeated, but yet amazed how God brought this group together. No one really has any idea how many hours and hours and hours we spend on the case. Melinda says They put in all this hard work, time, and effort, and sometimes even have to deal with trolls who make fun of them for doing something good for the community. So she says, even though they have the support of the BCSO, nobody in our group even knows Andreen. Even so, they feel compelled to help. They don't do it for the glory of attention, but to bring home a beautiful woman that is missing. So an interesting mix. Her group is made up of retired police, military police, active duty Navy, and survivors of domestic violence. And so some of those, especially for the domestic violence, she says this can really hit home for several of those. Okay, guys, just got this amazing clip from Levy. He's actually on Team Savage that I was talking about earlier. I'm going to roll that clip for you guys. He did an amazing job. Proud of him.
Great news coverage. I don't know if it's great news coverage, but I'm covering it. You think I should ask him where he buried her or where she's at?
For those watching our live stream right now, we're certifying Andreen McDonald's team is facing charges
Or should I just say, General, where did he put her?
Justice Intake Center under McDonald.
Because he may not have buried her. He may have just put her somewhere. Oh, we got some people coming. Let's see what we got here. Nope. All right. Andreen McDonald, where did you put your wife's body? Where did you put her? We won't give up. We're gonna find her. Where's she at?
Is he okay? Does he need help? What happened to Andreen?
Where's Andreen? Where's Andreen McDonald, Andre? Where did you put your wife's body, Andre? Where did you put her, boss? We won't give up. We're gonna find her. Where's she at, Andre?
Just noticed from the camera view, Andreen McDonald just entered pretrial services car.
He is on his way to pretrial.
Just released from Justice.
He is heavily protected. No flag vest. But he is going to be escorted by sheriff. We're not giving up, Andre. We got him. Team Savage, baby, all the way. Team Savage coming here live from Bexar County Jail. And that is our live video. Let me see if I can Alright. This is Levi Shaw. I think we covered it. And next time we need to keep track of this and find out where he's going to be next. We need to pull out this in live fashion. We're not giving up, guys. We're going to do this and we're going to get it done. Team Savage all the way, baby. And these cameramen are ruthless out here. Which I don't know if I caught that live, this cameraman eating doo-doo out here, but we got this, guys. Let's rock this and let's get it done.
Okay, everybody, that is Levy Shaw. He is part of the Savage team coming off the Facebook group I mentioned earlier. And people ask, Why would somebody be out here doing something like this? And that question can be answered very easily. Most cases, these people have always had the interest in helping other people. Levy, in fact, was a firefighter since he was 21 years old, and he'd done this for 14 years. But he is now retired, and that is due to the fact that he had a mass in his lungs that he had to have cut out, and it prevented him from, being a firefighter any longer. Levy is married to this beautiful woman you see here. Her name is Lynn, and he has a beautiful child with her. And I asked him, I said, how in the world did you get involved with the Andreen McDonald case and the way that you volunteered so much of your time? He humbly answered that question, and he said, he too had an autistic child. And when he seen that, Andreen had a autistic child that was involved in this horrible case, he really felt compelled to volunteer and try to help to find the mother. He says, every family deserves closure. He goes on to say, no person should be allowed to get away with this type of crime or any other crime. He says, Andre has answers, and if he won't cough them up, he will eventually. Then finally, he says, all this searching that he's doing, it's because it's the right thing to do. But Levy is not a one-man team. He actually is a two-man team. He has his buddy, Obi, that helps him out when he goes out searching for Andreen. Obi was actually given to him from a couple that wasn't able to take care of him any longer. He fell in love with Obi and decided that he wanted him to do the hero work and get out there and do things like find Andreen McDonald. Levy has had a history of working with cadaver dogs, and that's just something he loves to do. So I asked him a few questions, to find out what Obi was like. He says that Obi is a German Shepherd that is 2.5 years old. He is trained in cadaver work as well as scent tracking. And for the single female German Shepherds out there, he loves belly rubs and long walks on the beach as well as Scooby snacks. I asked Levy, how long are you going to continue to search for Andreen McDonald? His answer was, until she is found. So it's people like these guys that really are out there doing all this amazing work that nobody knows about or hears about. But it's been hard work. It's been challenging. It's been a mental roller coaster for these guys. Now, getting back to the fact that Andreen McDonald is now out of jail, which a lot of people have a lot of concern with that, for the fact that he, just right before he was arrested, he went to purchase a gun, supposedly a lot of ammo, and that worries a lot of people. He will have on a GPS tracker. He's on house arrest, but is that guaranteed safety from him hurting himself or hurting others? I guess time will tell. But I want to say, guys, I've been working on this. I'm not kidding you, since 8 o'clock this morning. It's now 5 o'clock. I'm going to shut this down and do a different video, and we'll talk about this later. So what do you guys think? Now that he's out of jail, what do you think will happen? So leave that in the comments below. Do not forget to like and subscribe. And I want to say thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.